Elon's always talking about affordability, certainly working on that one.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Cathie Wood is a forward-thinking investor known for her passion for disruptive technology, optimism, and bold predictions about the future of innovation. She's the CEO and CIO of ARK Invest. Watch to discover Wood's take on Amazon's capacity constraints, Palantir's data breakthroughs, and the catalysts she sees driving innovation well into 2025.
Many people are beginning to understand that hardware, of course, is important, cloud is important, but in order to deserve the valuations they're getting, there have to be beneficiaries beyond that. And we think platform as a service is going to take increasing share of the tech stack. And so that does benefit companies like Palantir, GitLab, and others that developers are signing on to. We do own Amazon. And we do think, after listening to the call last night especially, the cloud is a central part of this story. So love what they're doing there. We were concerned for some time that maybe agentic personal agents were going to disintermediate Amazon on the retail front as our personal agents go shopping around the web for us. But I do believe that Amazon's got, they said last night, a 14% advantage in terms of lower prices vis-a-vis other online shopping sites on average. So we're less worried about that. And as you know, we post our holdings and trades at the end of every day. So we have been building that one. NVIDIA, we do own in other portfolios. We think there is huge demand going forward. But again, just listening to Amazon's call last night and to others, there's more competition brewing on the chip side of the equation. Amazon has two, Graviton and Trainium and Inferentia. So on the supply side, there is more competition brewing. And we are also seeing with DeepSeek, for example, there is a possibility that more of the large language models are going to be built on high-end workstations, maybe not so much dependent on the cloud. High-end workstations depend on fewer GPUs. All of that said, this is all at the margin. The whole space, we think, is going to be vibrant for years. We are so early in the journey here, and we're pretty excited about it. We think it's going to be here sooner rather than later. In terms of agentic right now, we're seeing coders, for example. Well, AI, large language models, you can give them a coding project, and we're seeing that they can accomplish 85% of the task with no human intervention. That's the beginning of agentic, and we think it's going to push into every sector very quickly. AI training costs are dropping 75% per year. AI inference costs, which is what would be used for this personal shopping agent, they're dropping 85 to 95% per year. So the cost of innovation is collapsing, and we think more innovation is going to happen, especially around this agentic AI opportunity.
Bill Barhydt, the founder and CEO of crypto asset manager Abra, predicts a jaw-dropping surge for Bitcoin, aiming for a peak around $700,000. He attributes this to significant liquidity injections, which he believes will be unleashed by the current U.S. administration eager to keep interest rates low and the economy stimulated. Barhydt's model points to a scenario where quantitative easing could supercharge both crypto and traditional markets. He expects Bitcoin to achieve a base case price of $350,000, while Ethereum could scale to $8,000. At the top of his forecast, BTC might even double its target, and Ethereum could reach $16,000. Solana is also on his radar, with a projected climb to $900, reflecting broader bullish sentiment fueled by easy money policies. The notion of a Valhalla cycle captures Barhydt's optimism that markets will soar once the government steps in with massive liquidity measures, likely set to begin in the first quarter. Not everyone is convinced that the rally will endure without interruption. Former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes cautions that politics may not have shifted drastically and warns of a potential return to $70,000, $75,000 levels for Bitcoin. This retracement could materialize once markets realize the administration's promises might not trigger instant endless gains. Despite the skepticism, major institutions still project six-figure outcomes for Bitcoin as 2025 unfolds. While the path ahead may involve volatile twists, the broader consensus points to crypto's resilient spirit. Whether prices skyrocket or consolidate, these forecasts keep traders and hodlers on the edge of their seats.
I don't think I've ever heard him more engaged or more into the details, answering in detail endless questions. So, as I've said before, I think he's an amazing CEO in that he is a troubleshooter. He figures out where the pinch points are, the gating factors, and he goes right at them. And I think he's doing it very effectively. What's happening is the Model Y, which is the largest selling car in the world, is going through a refresh cycle. And I can tell you personally, I went to buy a Model Y, and at the showroom, they said, no, wait. The whole thing's going to be refreshed. This was several months ago, and lo and behold, this is where we are. So I'm happy they told me that, and I think I understand why we're seeing sales lag here a bit. Well, a lot of auto companies have already signed on to Tesla's standard, and so why not? And why not use the the Tesla charging network instead of duplicating expenses with government subsidies on top of that? So I think it will benefit Tesla. I think it will be good for the entire ecosystem. Well, we have just come from facing three major headwinds over the last few years that have turned into tailwinds. But before I mention those, I should say over the last 10 years, Morningstar has, who ranks all ETFs, we are in the top, I think we're in the top 7.5% of their rankings in terms of where they classify us, which is in mid-cap growth, because we do tend to be smaller cap than the broad-based benchmarks. So over a 10-year period, top 10%, we'll take that. That said, these three headwinds, what were they? And they really started after COVID. First was the concentration in the markets towards the Mag 6. I think after the fallout from COVID and the sorting out of the market, people have been scared and saying, they value cash very highly as interest rates went up, and they like to dabble in the larger cap. That's the safer part of the market. So that the broadening out of the market that we are expecting now should really benefit us. So the first headwind was concentration in the markets. The market is beginning to broaden out. We see that since the election. The second headwind, I mentioned it, was interest rates. We went through a shocking increase in interest rates, up 24-fold in little more than a year's time. All long-duration assets were plastered by that, including bonds that are supposed to be the safest asset class. They had some of their worst years in history. So concentration, interest rates, and then the last headwind we faced, especially in early 21, as the COVID had bid up our kind of stock to, incredible heights from a valuation point of view. We had to work or grow into that valuation. And in the yen carry trade period last year, so last July, August, what we saw our portfolios based on an adjusted enterprise value to EBITDA ratio drop towards a market multiple. We've worked with S&P to develop this index. So the valuation headwind is gone as well. So concentration, interest rates, valuation have turned from headwinds into tailwinds.
China is preparing to lift its ban on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies by the end of 2025, according to Ash Crypto. This marks a shift after years of fluctuating policies, beginning in 2013 when the People's Bank of China restricted financial institutions from handling Bitcoin transactions. The government later enforced stricter measures in 2017 by banning initial coin offerings, followed by a nationwide crackdown in 2021 that rendered all cryptocurrency transactions illegal. Reopening doors to digital assets could drastically alter the global crypto market. With China's economy re-entering the arena, trading volumes might surge, potentially driving up prices. It may also spark innovation in blockchain technology, benefiting sectors like finance, supply chain, and healthcare. There are hurdles ahead. Potential strict regulations could come into play, and any widespread adoption must align with China's broader economic objectives. Readers should exercise caution and research very thoroughly before making any personal financial decisions. Arthur Hayes, former BitMEX CEO, delivers a stark warning about the idea of a U.S. Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, BSR. He argues that if the government stockpiles BTC, it sets up a powder keg for market volatility, with political motives overriding financial logic. Buying a massive quantity of Bitcoin might initially drive prices up, but once the government stops purchasing, momentum could vanish. Hayes also highlights that future administrations could simply sell this reserve, causing a sudden market plunge. He believes government action driven by politics, rather than economics, could erode Bitcoin's independence. As an alternative, Hayes proposes gradual integration of BTC into the financial system, allowing the U.S. Treasury to back the dollar while preserving Bitcoin's decentralized nature. Without balanced policy, he warns that even a seemingly crypto-friendly president may fail to offer the regulatory stability necessary to protect against wild price swings and a potential major future crash. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.